How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Hey G, how you doing?
Good. Are you live now? Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. How's it going? It's about 1 minute out, so hey, 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 how's it going? Excuse me. Well, I'm excited to get started. Gary,
Yes.
what you doing?
Um,
It stopped. It stopped playing on you. Well, um, let me see. I do have a little water here. My throat is a little itchy this afternoon. But I wanted to probably go ahead and just get started. And we're super excited about the opportunity to be able to come on and talk to you all live. And you'll see me looking at different screens or looking at different places because I have different lives going. I have Instagram live going, I have Facebook live going, and so I'm super excited to always have an opportunity to come and talk to you all. And I pray that as you're getting a chance to listen to this message, that you will be able to share it with other people. You will be able to come on and comment as well. Give your opinions. That's completely fine by me. But the idea behind the message always is to help other people. Because my husband and I, Gary and I, have decided that if we touch one person, that one person is amazing. You never know how the information that you share with one person can change the trajectory of their lives or their family lives forever. I remember my pastor years ago saying that he wanted to touch one. His name is Pastor Lionel Keys. He's gone on to be with the Lord. Now, Gary, the live on, I wanted to make sure the live was okay on Instagram, and that's still going okay. Uh, it's saying that it's experiencing performance issues. So I hope everything is going okay.
so are you on live now?
Yeah, I think so. Both of them still say live, but they froze for a minute. So I don't know if that all of a sudden song popping up was the issue, but it's completely okay. That kind of stuff happens in live, and that's cool. But anyway, I remember Pastor Lionel Key saying that he wanted to touch 1 million people with the message of Jesus. And so back then in your brain you're thinking, and then I'm talking about decades ago, you're thinking that 1 million people are going to come into the church. Of course, we didn't have the social media like we have it now. Didn't have it at all. There was, I don't remember any YouTube and all that kind of stuff, and Facebook, and of course there were no lives. But now I can see that when you touch one person, that one person can touch one person, and so on and so forth. And I believe his legacy is still living on, and that's really amazing. So the idea behind this is, of course, so that we can touch a person and that their lives will change. So it is Saturday afternoon, and again, I'm super excited about you all joining me for this edition or this session of I Choose Me and how to have an amazing mental comeback. And Gary, if you have another phone, if you can look on Facebook and make sure that it's showing up live and everything is cool on that, that will be awesome. Again, thank you for joining me for this edition. or this session of I Choose Me. And this is something that I want to do each several times a month live, where I'm inviting people. The last time that I was on, I invited Zachary to come and speak with us, and that was so good. If you haven't listened to that message, I encourage you to go back and listen. But you may be asking the question, what is this I Choose Me message all about? I Choose Me is about choosing yourself first, or taking care of yourself first, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, socially, whatever lead that you want to add to it, so that you can be of service to others. I put together several tools like my book, Get Up, You Big Fat Procrastinator. You know, the title is super catchy, but really, chronic procrastination is not funny, and people who fall victim to the issues that occur from procrastination usually don't put themselves first. Or I wrote the book No Trace, My Story, My Secrets, My Pain, and My Victory. In this book, we talk about the suicide epidemic and the importance of talking through the stigma that is related to suicide and other issues that we deal with mentally and emotionally, and the need to make sure you are okay first, so that you can be of service to others. And you might be asking, like, who are these others that you're talking about, Letitia? Others are people like your family members, your friends, your colleagues, your teammates, your community, your city, your state, your nation. Just imagine that if people took care of themselves first and made sure they were healthy in those areas, mentally, emotionally, how healthy would our nation be today? And we've heard it a million times, especially for those of you who fly. They always say, if you are with someone, especially with a child, that you should put your mask on first. Why? So that you can assist somebody else. You can't help anybody if you don't take care of yourself first. And we always have it backwards. We want to help everyone else, neglect ourselves, and when when we've depleted all that we have, there's nothing left for you. There's nothing left for me. And if I were to ask you today, who are you? I bet the majority of you don't have a clue. Why? Because we've spent so much time servicing others, but neglecting ourselves. And we don't have a clue of who we are, especially in my generation. I don't know how many people that have come up to me and said that they wish that they could have done things differently, even though they've taken care of so many other people. I had somebody to call me the other day and say, you know, Letitia, I wish that I would have taken care of myself. After all of these years, I've taken care of everybody else. And then I look up one day and I'm like, man, I never did choose myself. And let me tell you, once you reach a certain age, it's like that time just keeps on clicking. You understand what I'm saying? It don't stop for nobody. And I had recently asked these young people at this event that I was at, how did they feel about the Simone Biles situation and the Olympics? Remember, she didn't participate in some of the exercises because she wasn't mentally ready to be able to do it. She couldn't do it. She couldn't perform. And I had so many different answers, and all of the answers were good answers. But the most important thing that I got out of that conversation is that the young people are actually okay having the conversation. So maybe there's hope for the next generation after all. Maybe they won't be afraid to speak up and get the help that they need and that they so desperately want. Maybe they'll do like Jesus did and say, listen, I have to be about my Father's business. But I know that I can't perform miracles or take the pressures of life without first having a strong prayer and fasting life. So what do I mean? Even Jesus thought it was important to meditate, to pray, and to spend time making sure that he was mentally and emotionally and spiritually ready first before he would be of service to others. The scripture says in Mark 1:35, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus went to a solitary place where he prayed. I am so thankful, Letitia, that I have a place that I receive comfort a standard that I uphold when I am in trouble, a foundation that is steady and sure, and a great relationship that is borderless, unbreakable, and dependable. I'm thankful that my relationship is with God. And when I have a question or I need guidance, He is my Jehovah Jireh, the one who provides for me. And since I know He always wins and He has all the answers, why not go to God in prayer? And I remember this day where I certainly didn't have an answer to a situation. I knew that I needed to hear from God. Here is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here is a picture of my daughter Tabitha in 2019 that was captured after their game against the powerhouse, the University of Texas. It was Texas versus Rice University. Rice had never beat Texas in the history of the school in volleyball. Years ago, they played each other twice a year. That meant Texas was going to be at Rice and Rice was going to be at Texas when they were in the Southwest Conference together. But this year, 2019, it was a special year. Rice in 2018 had this phenomenal season, and there was a lot of hype about being able to come and be able to play against Texas. The coaches, the players, the school, and everybody talked about the opportunity to play Texas on Rice's home court. And they really believed they had a chance to beat them or at least give them a run for their money. To Rice, they felt that they had all the pieces together to take them down. Well, for those of you who know Tabitha, who know my daughter, you know that she was a power jumper and a power hitter. This was her fifth and final year to ever play volleyball again, and possibly her last time to compete against Texas. She wanted to play and she wanted to win so bad. But there was a problem. Tabitha sustained an injury to her shoulder that she was not aware of, that prevented her from doing the thing that she did best, and that was bang balls. But her coach still had her in the lineup and all the games leading up to Texas. So she was still helping the team with her passing, her defense, and her blocking game, and her leadership. So on game day, early that morning, she arose and told me that she was going through it mentally and emotionally. And let me tell y'all, it was not an easy kind of casual conversation. She was freaking the heck out about the pressure and about all the conversations that were surrounding the game. She didn't want to let her team down, and she was all up in her head, so much so that it was almost crippling her. And I didn't have an answer for her. I didn't have an answer at that moment anyway. But listen, I remember two things. Number one, I can ask God, my Jehovah Jireh, to provide the answer that would comfort her and get her game ready in the time of her need. And number two, the night before, I had just listened to the speaker about changing your state through specific actions, right? So she asked me, she's like, Mom, can we go up to Willowbrook so that Willowbrook Sports Club, it's a club that she trained at and played for years, so that she can get some touches before the match against Rice, before she went up to Rice. And y'all, let me tell you, on the ride up there, I was praying and seeking guidance from the Lord. And I had to show confidence in front of her because, quite frankly, I was nervous for her too. I mean, she had been in thousands of tough competitive situations. She was born for this. But her shoulder injury was playing strong up in her head about what she couldn't do, although the rest of her game had risen to a whole nother level. A whole other level. Why would we say another level? But a whole other level. So as we were walking into the gym, I told her to, go get this chair, and I wanted her to sit in front of me. And here it is, guys. Here it is. I said, before we get started, I wanted to do some meditation and some visualization work with her. This is not foreign because we had done it plenty of times. We put in the work plenty of times before, but Every situation, of course, every opportunity was a different situation. But this time, instead of doing the normal affirmations and the normal mantras, we were going to take it up a notch. And before we started talking, she was carrying this weight on her that was so tangible. You know that look when you're super sad, your shoulders are all hunched over and slumped over, your head is down, your back is hunched, your eyes are low. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So after talking her through about what she wanted through visualization and meditation, again, after talking her through about what she wanted, and she described what it is that she wanted, I told her, I said, Tabitha, I need you to throw your hands up high and hard and fast in the air as if you had already won, or as if the team had already won the game, and elicit the feeling of excitement and victory, and then yell at the top of your lungs. Again, Tabitha threw her hands up in the air and she started yelling and screaming. And to say that this weight had lifted off of her shoulders was an understatement. By her throwing up her arms and yelling at the top of her lungs, and let me tell you, she's like, I'm going to try this because, baby, listen, I'm in a serious situation here and I need to change my state immediately. And again, she threw up her arms in victory, like her hands are in this V kind of shape, and she was super excited, and she yelled at the top of her lungs. By throwing her arms up again, she changed her physical state. And all of the adrenaline, the endorphins, and every chemical coursing through her body that she needed to be healthy emotionally and mentally shifted in her favor. It was an amazing sight to see. Then after we got up and we said, okay, now it's time to work out, the warm-up was going to be a little bit different this time. Usually we, do some jogging and some jumping and whatnot. But I told her, I said, listen, I want you to walk out there, like get up from that chair and walk like George Jefferson. Y'all know who George Jefferson is. He, had that super fast walk, and she, she was familiar with George Jefferson because we had done it before. But, she got up and she thought it was so funny, and we were walking together, and the warm-up was mostly of us dancing and being goofy. And then we just had a good time out there playing. But it was just so awesome to see that she had come from this slumped shoulders, eyes low, shaken, fearful kind of state that she put herself in mentally because she was thinking about how well she was not going to do and the fear of not being able to perform. Listen, she felt so good going into the game that evening. Listen, the gym, when we got there, it was sold out. There was so much orange in the Rice gym. That's a blue and white gym. The crowd was electrifying. The Rice student section was jumping, and the fans from all over the city of Houston and in Austin packed the stands with anticipation of the high-ranking Texas being on full display. Well, needless to say, Rice won the first set, stunning the Texas bench and all of their fans. And guess what? Tabitha was in the front row, and she hadn't jumped and hit one single ball. In that first set, the Texas coach ran a play to have their big middle hitter in front of Tabitha. This is like game point for Rice University. And if I was a coach, I would have done it too. Rice had their big middle, big right side, and then you had Tabitha, who was 5 foot something. And then you had this Texas middle hitter who was 6 foot something. And it's like, let's run it in front of her, this slide, right? So she went up and she hit the ball, and Tabitha went up. They forgot that baby can jump. And plus her confidence was high. They were doing so well. And she went up and blocked that ball on the floor. She was like, get that mess out of here. The fans went absolutely crazy. It was just so much fun to see. And the Rice team, they were playing so well together. The fans were excited. They won the second set. The team was amazing. But Tabitha, she was off the change. You would have thought the girl was a dang on octopus. She was digging balls like crazy. You could hear the girls in the stand that were next to me who knew Tabitha as a hitter shift and say that I want to play defense and pass like Tabitha. Now, the last play of that nail-biting game, the best hitter on the Rice team was next to Tabitha in serve receive. Texas did what they were supposed to do. They served the ball to this girl in that area, and that girl almost jumped out of the way. But Tabitha dives in, get the pass. The setter does this amazing move, and she sets the hitter kills the ball, and Rice wins in 5. Tabitha had broken her own digging record that night and led the team to victory. Now you can only imagine all of the screaming and the shouting and the crying and the dancing and the Instagramming and the YouTubing and the pictures and the hugs and the fans storming the floor. It was so much fun. It was electrifying. And afterward, as the crowd died down and we were waiting in the gym for her to get out of the shower, we decided, we were going to go to social media and see what the people were saying about the games. Remember that picture that I showed y'all? Remember that picture? This is of Tabitha with her hands up. Miraculously, someone captured Tabitha throwing her hands up during the game, which is exactly what she had done earlier that day. When we saw the picture on all the social media platforms, we fell to our knees because we knew that she had already created that posture in her mind first. It blew us away. And afterward, that same picture traveled all over the collegiate volleyball world and was nominated and featured as the NCAA Volleyball Picture of the Week. Let me tell you, what Tabitha did earlier was an amazing example of what happens when you choose you first. And she, number one, let me tell you, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. That picture just, is instilled, that picture is instilled in my brain and seared in my brain forever and ever and ever. But again, it was an amazing example of what happens when you choose you first. What do I mean? Number one, she came for help. She said, Mom, I ain't right in the head mentally and emotionally. I need some I'm not going to be able to make this game if I don't get some help. And I don't know the answers to it. Can you help me? Got it? Then, number two, she used the technique of visualization and meditation to see the end from the beginning and determine what she really wanted. Again, she had to determine, what does she want? I want to feel good. I want to win this game. I want to play amazing. She had to determine what she wanted. And then number three, she elicited the feelings of excitability by changing her physical state first when she threw up her hands and she yelled. Listen, after taking care of yourself, or after she was taking care of herself first, after she took care of herself first, then she was able to be of service to others well and in excellence. And you may be asking, well, who in the world did she serve? She was playing volleyball. And it wasn't a volleyball serve. Who did she serve? She served her teammates well. She served the coaching staff, the fans, the Rice student body, the faculty, the school, young players who were watching her and were all hyped up and changing their mindset about how to play the game of volleyball. She even served the city of Houston. Even the president of the university, when he saw that picture, and of course it was at the game, he requested this picture to be placed in his office. Has she not taken the time to choose herself first? None of this happens. And now Rice's confidence is so high that they beat Texas again the next year without her. Now, I'm talking about a moment or an example in time of the I Choose Me message being manifested. There are millions of stories and success stories of people who've taken care of themselves first and experienced success. And then there are millions of people who are dealing with situations where they feel like there is no hope and they can't get unstuck. The I Choose Me message reminds us that it's okay to take care of yourself first. So I want to encourage you to visualize only what you want. Don't be talking about and having conversations about that stuff that is negative, because it sears in your head. And the positive chemicals and or whatnot don't course through your body and affect the and that are not effective for you and that are not helpful for you. And the mental state that you're in when you think of those things that are negative are not helpful for you. So think and visualize only on what you want, and then meditate on it. See yourself in that situation, no matter what it is, whether it is helping your kid who has a drug problem, or maybe you're having a bad relationship with your husband or wife, or maybe you are an athlete yourself and you've had to deal with some injuries, or maybe you're stuck in your head mentally and you need some help. Maybe you are like Simone Biles was and many other athletes who are saying, God, y'all don't understand, I got this thing in my head and I need some help. Got it? No matter what it is, I want to encourage you to know exactly what it is that you want. Visualize yourself in that state. Meditate on it. Elicit the feelings of excitability, because all of everything you need will start to come into your possession faster than you can ever imagine. And when you're feeling distressed, see how using these techniques can help you have an amazing mental comeback. Well, listen, guys, I hope the information that I shared with you is good information, and that you understand that it's important to take care of yourself, and it's absolutely okay to choose you first so that you can be of service to others, because that's what it's all about. It's all about being able to change the one person at a time. And it's super important for you to take care of yourself. You are important. You matter. And if you haven't gotten this book, Get Up, You Big Fat Procrastinator, you need to make sure that you pick it up. Go visit my website at LatishaBrown.com, LATISHA Brown.com, and pick up a copy of this book, or pick up several copies. Man, there's so much good information in it. I'm the author of the book, and I go through it. I'm like, wait. Okay, so I'm dealing with this situation, or this person called me and I need to talk about from childhood to adulthood, and this information is in this area, and I'm getting ready to do these several speaking engagements. And listen, if y'all need a speaker, y'all call me up or tell somebody that you know of a fabulous speaker that will come to their place, and I'll also do it virtually, kind of like what we're doing as well. But pick up the book. If, for instance, you don't pick it up and don't read mumbling, not one single solitary word in it, it's still gonna bless you, because the get up message will remind you that when you're feeling like you want to procrastinate, you will know that it's important for you to get up and start moving. I don't know how many people have told me that they wanted to go back to school, they wanted to write a book, they wanted to start a business, and they look over and they saw it to get up, and it's like, I better get up and get moving. Got it? Because it's important for you to take care of yourself first. You understand? And then, of course, if you don't have no trace, you can also pick up this book on my website at LatishaBrown.com. And this I Choose Me message, you know, we're going into a season where the kids are going back to school. It's about to get, cool again. Get your hoodie. Got it? And here's the thing about the hoodie and starting the school year. You get a chance to represent the I Choose Me message, at school, at work, or play. And when anybody asks you about what this means, you're saying, I'm taking care of myself first, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially. And wearing it, not only does it feel absolutely amazing, but it also reminds me, reminds you, reminds people that I'm going to take care. Oh, time to choose me today. I'm putting my t-shirt on. I'm putting my hoodie on. And listen, here's a red one. I got this purple one here on my lap, and I got this blue one. Represent your school. You go to the University of Houston, get your red hoodie. I'm a cool. Got it? Get your navy blue one if you go to Rice University. Get your purple one if you go to PV. if you go to PV, get your I Choose Me hoodie, or maybe you go to Jersey Village. I think that they're purple, or maybe you go to Klein and they wear this kind of blue. Whatever it is, represent you, represent the message. Gary and I and the family, we have a goal of touching 5,000 people with this I Choose Me message by the time we end this particular year. So can y'all help me out with that? And let's get the message out, because the idea is so that everybody across the globe is taking care of themselves, taking care of the people around them, but taking care of themselves first so that they can be of service to others, so that we can heal our nation. If you visit my website at letitiabrown.com and you don't see your color, just email me at letitia@letitiabrown.com. Tell me your school color. I'll send you my Cash App or my Venmo. You guys, it's $25, just $5 for shipping anywhere in the United States, $25 for the hoodie, and I'll get your color out to you. So God bless you real good. Visit my website at letitiabrown.com. I love you, and I wish only the best for you. Share this message with other people. I believe that we are changing lives with this Get Up message, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm praying for you. Oh, guess what? Guess who's joining me next week? Mr. Brown. Hubby is joining me next week. I cannot wait to see you all. Y'all should see him in the background. He's like, oh my God, Letitia. But he is a fantastic speaker, and he's going to bless you, and I am super excited about him coming. So God bless you real good. Share this message. Share it with people. Share. Much love to you all. Take care now. Bye-bye.